Hello, everyone, and hello to you, Moritz. How are you?
Very good. Very happy to be here.
You are very welcome to be here. This is our first episode of the Lipscore podcast. Very nice to have you here as our first guest in this episode. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So originally I am from Germany, but moved to Stockholm close to 10 years ago now because I wanted to pursue a career in e-commerce. And I figured, at least within Europe, there's pretty much no better country to do that in than Sweden. Already back then, e-commerce was booming here, much more advanced than Germany, especially back then, I might say. And I first joined Klarna, which was a rocket ship back then, still is. It was a great place to learn the basics of e-commerce, build a network here in Sweden. And I was there for close to 6 years. The last couple of years, I worked as a partner manager specifically for the Swedish market. So I got to know all the different platforms here in the local market. I got to work with the largest agencies and all the other players in that e-commerce space here in Sweden. So it was a fantastic learning ground. And then last year, I decided to take a position at Maropost, where I currently work as a partnership manager for Sweden and UK
Wow,
specifically.
wow, what a journey! Please tell me a little bit more about Maropost.
Yeah, sure. So they are originally a Canadian company. They started out in the email marketing space, are an email service provider. More than 10 years back, they were founded by our current CEO and founder, Ross Arquette, and really have been a very strong player specifically for customers that want to send large volumes of emails on a monthly basis. So we're talking about the millions of emails sent on a monthly basis. That's normally where our sweet spot lies. A lot of our customers are in the e-commerce space naturally. And after seeing that success with Maropost in specifically email marketing, a couple of years back, they started to also branch out into other parts of e-commerce by acquiring several companies, including one here in Stockholm, which is why we nowadays have a team here. The company is called Findify, and they basically focus on search and merchandising.
Interesting. I want to hear more about email marketing, but first, let's dig into search and merch a little bit. Um,
Sure. So Findify, or as we nowadays call it, Merchandising Cloud, is a provider that can help you optimize the on-site search and the merchandising functionality. So if you're an e-commerce player that wants to get serious about first of all optimizing the way you can search for certain products on the website, but also how you display the product catalog to your customers in the most efficient way, you basically have to get a search and merchandising tool. There are functionalities that normally are built in with any e-commerce platform nowadays, but that's a very rudimentary level. As soon as you outgrow those very basic functionality options, you are very wise to look into possibilities to really take your search and merchandising to the next level by optimizing the way people can find products on your website, on your search, but then also optimizing for merchandising functionality, like, for example, collections, related products, etc.
okay. Let's say I have a mid-size business guitar shop
Okay.
as an e-commerce. Uh, how can search and merch help me expand my business?
So guitars would be a very interesting example because um, naturally it would have a lot of technical descriptions in the actual product description for the guitars itself, but then also for all the different tools that you normally need around having a guitar, so the amplifiers, etc. Normally the product descriptions are a little bit messy to memorize, even as an expert. So that's normally not how you would search on the website for it. Instead, you would go into the search bar on the website and type in, I don't know, subwoofer or amplifier or guitar. And then if you use a tool that optimizes your search and merchandising recommendations, you're actually able to make sure that you recommend the best possible product to that specific customer, also based on data points that you have already collected on that customer potentially in the past when they already visited your website. So you're able to target specifically the needs of that individual customer.
Can I also target this data I have on the customer? Can I somehow connect it to the email marketing?
Yes, that's definitely possible. And in fact, something that I think is very positive with a company like Maropost that has all these different functionalities under one umbrella. You're able to learn about your customers when they are on your website, but as we all know, not every customer ends up buying from you. So with the possibility to retarget them through marketing functionalities like Maropost Marketing Cloud, you're actually able to create a value offering for the customer even when they leave the website and showcase the different products targeted specifically for that customer based on any kind of indication you got from them on the website on what they might be interested in.
Oh, but let's say if I have a fashion e-commerce,
Sure.
it's a bit wider, more products, more SKUs. How will that be different from like having a guitar shop?
Right. So we actually have a lot of customers, specifically in the fashion space. We have a lot of brands that work with merchandising cloud nowadays. And the reason for that is that with, for example, fashion products, you really want to know who your customer is. Because if you are a 37-year-old male, like I am, and you're searching for a t-shirt, you most likely are not looking for the same kind of t-shirt as a 20-year-old woman. So both of us might type in t-shirt, but if you know what kind of customer you're dealing with, you're able to make a much better recommendation. And specifically for fashion, that's really, really valuable information and really valuable to be able to target so specifically to each individual customer. Also, on top of that, you might pick up on preferences in terms of the size of the product. You might pick up on preferences in terms of the colors of the product. All of that is really valuable information that then helps you find the best possible product fit for your customer.
Yeah. If I'm a customer, or let's take this as an example. I see a lot of customers coming in to my e-commerce, but none of them, or some of them, are just leaving without buying.
Mhm.
Can search and merch help me in any way to get these people to stay on the website or to
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So we see quite the uptick when it comes to both the conversion rate that optimizing your search and merchandising functionality can provide, but then also when it comes to average order value, you're normally able to increase that by quite a bit if you use search and merchandising tools, because you're able to not only serve the best possible products for each customer, but then also to know what to recommend them with that product. So if you take a very basic tool, if they buy a guitar, that tool will recommend you get another guitar because they picked up that on the fact that that consumer already wanted to look for a guitar in the past. But if you have a very advanced tool, that tool will no longer recommend you another guitar because who needs more than one guitar? Instead, they're gonna recommend you all the different equipments that you need with it, all the different strings, the different technicality tools,
Amplifiers
amplifiers. So all of that is something that makes much more sense to do an upsell on than recommending the same product again, and that's why we see the increase in average order value.
Wow. Because that's something you really want to get out, like more, an increase of the average order.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, so, uh, what are the coming trends in the e-commerce market as you can see right now?
So from the time that I've been working in ecom, which was more than 10 years by now, what we see happening increasingly more and more is really a consolidation of the market. And I see that both on the partner side, which is where I work most, when it comes to different platforms merging, when it comes to agencies merging, trying to find synergies. Really is the name of the game right now, trying to run your business while being as cost efficient as possible. But we also see that on the client side. We see that clients have become increasingly more cost sensitive, also with the cost of doing e-commerce, frankly, skyrocketing in the last couple of years. They're using more and more tools, and oftentimes they reach a point where they have all these tools, maybe 15 or more, and they almost forget why they got them in the first place. Maybe they had some staff turnover, somebody signed up for something a couple of years back. And now is the time where we see a lot of these large e-commerce players reevaluating which of these tools are actually essential and which ones they can get rid of. So at Maropost, we talk about this trend as something that is actually very positive and beneficial for us, because we are positioning ourselves as the main player in what we call unified commerce, which essentially means the possibility to give the value to the customer, not just through one product, but through a combination of products all tied into each other. So we're currently working on an e-commerce platform called Commerce Cloud that we're gonna launch later this year, and it's gonna come out of the box with the functionality of Merchandising Cloud as well as the functionality of Marketing Cloud. Thereby, if you sign up for one of those products, let's say Commerce Cloud, you're actually gonna get the value of all the products that are currently under the Maropost umbrella. And that not only brings down the cost for you, because you don't have to buy 15 different plugins anymore, but it also makes it possible to have all these products talk to each other, share data with one another. They're not siloed off anymore, but instead you're able to really have them all integrate with one another in a very smooth way.
Yeah. I want to talk a bit about email marketing.
Sure.
Is everyone doing it right now? Or is there still someone out there that's not doing email marketing?
Well, there probably is. But really, anyone should be doing email marketing. I think in the last couple of years, we saw an explosion of alternative marketing options. Everybody's doing social media. You can do live shopping. There's so many things that potentially could be doing nowadays. So in my experience, at least some companies tend to sleep a little bit on email marketing, especially if it's newer, hipper brands that maybe didn't come up in the early 2000s, but slightly later. They might think that email marketing has a little bit been outdated. But truth is that couldn't be further from reality, because if you think about email marketing compared to, for example, Facebook ads, for Facebook ads, you pay a certain amount and you get a certain amount of customers. But in the end, who owns the customer? Do you own the customer? No, Facebook owns the customer. Whereas if you do email marketing, you ask the customer to provide their email address if they so want to hear from you. And from that moment on, you are able to reach out to your customer whenever you want without any additional cost. So you might have some initial cost to collect that customer. But then once they decided to be interested in what you have to share with them, email marketing is a fantastic tool to continuously reach out to them, inform them about new products that you launch, about new sales offers that you have. Whereas with social media marketing, for example, that always comes at a cost, and you might not even be able to retarget the customer in the same way as you can when you deliver an email right into their inbox.
Interesting. Thank you so much for joining me for this first episode. Good luck.
My pleasure. It was really good being here.
Yeah, was really nice to have you here. Is there something else you'd like to share with the audience before we move on?
Well, have a look at Maropost offering. As I said, we have different pillars that the company is built on. We have the marketing automation called Marketing Cloud. We have the Commerce Cloud platform coming very soon this year. And then we have the Merchandising Cloud, which is most well known here in the Nordics. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm sure we're going to provide some links to that under this content. And looking forward to hearing from everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Moritz.
My pleasure.
Bye.